right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome into
The Inferno Blazers Sports Show. With your host, Jalen Scott, we could be looking at a very dangerous Valdosta State softball team in the coming years. Jack Calhoun,
I gotta love India Jordan doing the head tap, going the other direction, looking straight at the defender.
Kyle Hawthorne.
We got a good show for you today. Baseball is a game that is different every single day.
And Chris Mercer.
I'm excited what our Blazers can do coming up down the stretch.
You can't take the heat. What makes you think you can survive the Inferno?
Welcome into the Inferno Blazers Sports Show. I'm Jack Calhoun, your voice of the Blazers, and I'm joined by three men that, we're all here. I wouldn't say we're special. Well, some of us in one way or another. But to my right, we've got Kyle Hawthorne. Kyle, say hi to everybody.
What's up?
And then across from him, we've got Chris, who can't count Mercer.
No, I can count.
I think we have proof that you can't count. Roll the clip, Jalen.
Roll the clip from the
Y'all
quotables.
misinterpreted
Yes.
my words.
Let's be honest. I'm going third.
No, because that would make you last in this.
What?
So you're actually going,
What?
Yo, you can't do that, Chris.
My reputation will not.
3 and 4 are not the same word, Chris.
Bruh, y'all still have not let me
we're
explain
starting
that.
with this today.
Anyway, what's going on, man? Real quick, shout out to the NC State Wolfpack, knocking off my Duke Blue Devils. However, my dad is a huge NC State fan, and the first time they've been back in the Final Four since 1983, which was well before I was born. I was
gonna say
and probably
last-
when Jack was born too, because he's old as
That's right.
Oh,
I was going to say, last time NC State made the Final Four, it went pretty good for them.
Yeah, it did.
We'll
So
see what
shout out
happens.
Wolfpack, man. If anything was going to knock off the Blue Devils,
All I'm saying is we're all UConn fans this Saturday. That's all we're saying. That's all we're
Listen,
saying.
man.
We take it over to Jalen Scott.
The 919. We appreciate y'all.
Jalen Scott running the switcher over there. How are you doing today, Jalen?
You know what? Like you said in the intro, we're here. I'm here. Let's just get
We're
this going,
alive.
man. Let's just going.
Like she's about to cry. I was like, "You good?" I was like, "I'm making sure you straight."
He's just getting ready for
Look,
that big match this weekend. We got to shout him out. So
Yeah, man.
guys,
Yeah.
so for those of you that don't know, Jalen Scott, our very own Inferno Blazer Sports Show castmate, has made the roster for Valdosta State Rugby and will travel to their match. Congratulations, Jalen.
Thank you, guys. Which we'll talk about later in the episode. But Jack, do you mind giving us the topic rundown for today?
Absolutely, Jalen. So a couple of things we're going to talk about. We got Blazer baseball home games in Tifton. I know what you're thinking. That's not where we have our home games. We'll talk more about that. We've also got some softball, who, I got to be honest, they had a big series against Montevallo this weekend. Stay tuned for that. We've got some interesting news there. And on top of that, we're going to run through some Blazer tennis from both the men and women's side. We've got cross country, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But we're actually going to send it over to Chris for our first topic. What's some of the hot headlines going on this week, Chris?
All right, we'll go to the world of basketball as our assistant head coach, Alexis Offman, was named to the WBCA 30 under 30 honoree for the 2023-2024 season. She was the only Gulf South Conference coach to make it on this year's list. So much credit to
Out
her
of
as well.
assistant coaches and head coaches, she's the only one from the Gulf South Conference to make that list.
That is insane. Congrats, Coach Uff. We're proud of you.
Yes, indeed. 2 Lady Blazers were named Steele's Jewelry's Athletes of the Week. Women's tennis freshman Anita Paborilova and softball senior Morgan Hill. Congratulations to both of them being Steele's Jewelry Athletes of the Week. And finally, 8 Gulf South Conference softball players were highlighted in the NFCA Division II Player Pitcher of the Year watch list from the South region, with 1 home run hitter in VSU's own Abby Solt making the list. She has been awesome this year, man. We'll get into it more.
Sensational.
Man, she's been really cool, man. And I'm excited to see, we talk about softball later on. And let's get into our first topic of the day, and that is baseball. I feel like we've missed a lot. There was the cancellation of the series because the last time we were here was right before my mom's birthday. I better remember that. It was against Nova Southeastern. And that series was inevitably canceled because due to inclement weather.
Yeah.
And we will talk about that in a little bit. But Kyle, take us away, man.
Yeah, we had those 3 cancellations, and we also had the Tuesday cancellation as well. So that's 4 straight cancellations in a row. Then the Blazers traveled to Montevallo for a 3-game series versus the Falcons. And basically after losing the Friday game, they sweep the doubleheader to win the series. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll break down each of these games, and then we will transition over to the game that Jack alluded to in the intro, where we played in Tifton versus Georgia College. But first up is game 1 of the Montevallo series. We lose this game. Blazer starter Zach Dodson goes 6 2/3 innings, giving up 4 earned runs across 5 hits. But the big stat with this, looking at Dodson's outing, is 2 walks and 3 hits batsmen. That really does sound like a control issue to me.
Yeah.
Walks are always going to be an issue. That's been an issue for this team all year long. But when you have 3 hit batsmen, I don't know about the weather, how the weather was in Montevallo. That could have been an issue. But when you hit 3 batters, you got to step back and say, hey, let's get the grip on the baseball. Let's reevaluate. Yeah. But then again, granted, pitching into the 7th inning, you're going to have some time to hit those batters. But still, 2 walks, 3 hit batsmen, that just sounds like a control issue for me. Maybe he'll be able to bounce back. But another thing in this loss, 4 errors from the Blazers. Errors has been an issue this entire season. I don't know what it is about it. We can win a game and have 2 or 3 errors. So the offense is definitely doing their job, but the defense has got to step up. 4 errors in the first game of a conference series, that's something that's definitely got to be addressed. But if any type of bright side comes out of this game 1 is Dennis Pierce and Jacob Harper hit homers, but the Blazers do fall 6-7. Transitioning into game 2, this is the first game of the doubleheader for that day, and I know this is not how it was planned, at least I would hope not, going in, but Blazer pitchers Hunter Booth and Raynell Ortiz kind of participated in a half-and-half approach where, one pitcher goes half the game and the other one picks up the other half, kind of just to save that bullpen, because you have another game coming.
Yeah.
Hunter Booth goes 4 innings. Ortiz goes 4 2/3. Both of them combined allowing 11 runs across 13 hits.
Oof. And, speaking of Ray Ortiz, who would have ever thought this man would have been a pitcher? Because I remember at the start of the season, they usually either had him playing DH or a infield position. I didn't know he could pitch. And that's what we were talking about a couple episodes ago. We thought that's what Dennis Pierce was going to be. As Pierce pitched his freshman season, we thought we were going to get that. But instead we got Ortiz pitching. And hey, you know what?
Yeah.
He's a really good pitcher in his own right. I wasn't expecting it.
If Pierce can mash like he's doing, don't focus on pitching.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Just focus on mashing that baseball.
Yeah.
But on the other side, Falcon starter Gino Cozy goes 4 innings, allowing 5 runs on 8 hits. And the story of this game is that Montevallo really came out strong. It was a really, really offensively charged game. They came out strong, but the Blazers just keep chipping away, playing ABC baseball, single, double, stuff like that, just moving them around the base pads. Then they end up teeing off on them on the 8th and the 9th with home runs by Giovanni Canagita and Owen Long, respectively. They go into the 9th tied 11-11 after the full game. We're going into extra innings, but in the top of the 10th, Jacob Harper singles to left, scoring what would be the winning run, and then Nick Ferrara closes the game out as the Blazers take game 2 of the series, 12-11. Nick Ferrara has been really good for us this season. Like I said a few episodes ago, I actually thought he was a starter when we all established this season going in, but he's been a really good long reliever. He had the opportunity to get the save there, but when I look at that, I just see our manager kind of just picking your best pitcher. I know that we have an established closer, but at the end of the day, you're in the 10th inning of a game one of a doubleheader.
Yeah.
So you're going to send out Ferrara because you know he's going to get those outs. And, you know, if it does go to the 11th inning or the 12th, he can be stretched out as well. But he ends up getting the save for that game. But, yeah, it was a really, really offensively charged match for us.
And it's just with Ferrara, especially playing that reliever role. And I remember we were talking about this as well. We questioned whether, you know, he should maybe be put in an inning or two earlier than what his usual workload would be, because usually he would only get maybe around 1 to 1 1/3 to 2/3 of an inning before eventually he'd end up being relieved for the eventual, you know, closer. But now you know that he's getting a bit more. He's getting a bit more innings. That's especially shown here in Game 3, where he picked up the final 2 2/3 innings and has secured 2 wins for the Blazers in this series going to Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, he was really a workhorse for us this weekend. You know, coming in and saving out that first game of the doubleheader. Then, like you said, which I'm about to get into, you know, being that deciding factor in Game 3, the second game of the doubleheader. But looking into that game, Blazers starter Anthony Martins goes 4 1/3 innings, allowing 2 runs across 5 hits, but 4 walks. Another thing where you have 4 walks, but only getting into the 5th and giving up 4 walks. That's a little concerning, but it ended up good for us. Falcon starter Logan Samuel goes 5 innings, allowing 6 earned runs across 7 hits. So we'll take the walks to not give up the runs, I guess.
Yeah.
Big offensive star for this game, center fielder David Crawford, or as Bill Malone calls him, the Cadillac.
Hey, shout out David Crawford. He's actually following us on Instagram too.
Yep,
Shout out
he
to
goes
you, man.
3 for 4 with 2 singles and a home run. Dennis Pierce also hits his second home run of the series. Another 2-hit day for leadoff hitter Pedro Moreno, including a double. And then, like you said, Nick Ferrara picks up the final 2 2/3 innings as well as the save, and the Blazers take Game 3 9-3.
So like Jack alluded to in the intro, we also had one more game that happened recently against the Georgia College and State University Bobcats, which originally was going to be played here in Billy Grant Field at Tommy Thomas Park, but due to a storm that came over the Valdosta area, I kid you not, the nets behind home plate are down. Like, we have no netting behind home plate.
As well as the net that predicts the scoreboard.
Yeah, I just went out to the field. This is as of Tuesday. No, what's the day?
Today is Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday is recording.
April 3rd.
Thank you. I went on Tuesday, April 2nd to the field. Yeah, that net is completely down behind home plate, and as well as the out in the outfield. It is. Several down trees as well.
Yeah.
Like it's a mess out there.
Yeah,
they're doing their best cleaning it up, and we shout them out as well. But yeah, there was no way they could get a game in.
Yeah, Tommy Thomas Park is on North Campus, and that's around a lot of pine trees, which really there's pine trees everywhere in Valdosta.
Yep.
True. Unlike really any other area that I've ever lived in. But
you'll see a lot of geckos around them pine trees as well.
There's some trees down, like we said, the netting's down, so it wasn't playable. So we definitely appreciate ABAC for allowing us to come and use their field. Shout out to my other buddy Jack that goes to ABAC. So I doubt he caught that game because he don't really watch baseball.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, bud. But looking into this game, like I said, we move up to Tifton. Blazer starter Jude Ard goes 4 1/3 innings, allowing 2 runs across 6 hits, 3 walks again. But the Georgia College Bobcats, they used a total of 7 pitchers, and none of them pitching over an inning. So
none of them pitched over an inning.
It was
tell you what the outcome of that game.
It was a full bullpen game for them.
It was like watching the Charlotte Bobcats.
Yeah, it was
like.
that looked. I saw that box score and I was like,
"Oh
wow, that looks rough."
Bobcats, man.
The offensive star of the game has to be Ryan Hermano, who went 5 for 5 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs.
5 for 5.
That's pretty damn good. DJ Banks also hit a home run in the game. And overall, 6 Blazers had multi-hit games as they cruised to a 15-3 victory.
They had 20 total hits too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 runs on 20 hits. I mean, The last time,
And no errors.
And no errors. The last
No
time,
errors.
the last time we
Hey,
saw
that's
an
good.
offensive performance like that, they faced Alabama
I was gonna
Huntsville.
say, all I'm saying is, ABAC, make some room for us. We're gonna come play some more home games up there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, as I kind of close this up, we travel to Mississippi College for a 3-game series. this
Mississippi
weekend.
College.
Y'all, please
Not the Mississippi State College.
Leave me alone. With
Chris, we're never gonna let you forget that.
Oh my God.
But as I kind of
This will probably be his last time.
she did say that.
Oh my God.
But you know, as I close out this baseball section, one big thing that I noticed when I was looking at all of these lineups and all these box scores is that we use pretty much a different lineup each day. And while that can be a plus because you never know what order you're bringing out, that can also be a negative because you're not used to the lineup you're in.
Yeah.
Really, the only consistent is Pedro Moreno batting leadoff. But, I mean, in the first game of the Montevallo series, Pierce bats second, followed by Romano, Stowe, Canagita, Harper, Lawn, Crawford, Steinmetz, and Banks. Then we go to game 2, Moreno again at leadoff, but then it's followed by Canagita, then Pierce, Romano, Stowe, Harper, Lawn, Crawford, Banks. And then you essentially get the gist of it. It's moving them around. It's moving around these power hitters like Pierce and Stowe and Canagita. Personally, as a baseball aficionado, and like I said, it's not my place to say what they should do, but this is just an observation. The Georgia College lineup, you know, I mean, we score 15 runs. I get it. It's Georgia College. No offense, but they erupted. We have Moreno, followed by Romano, Pierce, then Canagita, then Stowe, Owen Lawn, David Crawford, then DJ Banks, and then we had Kerrigan at catcher. We didn't have Jacob Harper that day.
Oh, yeah. We had Kerrigan at catcher.
Yeah, we didn't have Jacob Harper that day, but
Gotcha.
you know, you have Moreno as your big leadoff hitter, and then Romano is a really good true 2-hitter. We don't really have the 2-hole hitter in the game much anymore, but Pierce, Canagita, Stowe, that is some kind of heart of a lineup. And I really don't understand why they're not 3-4-5 every single day.
I mean, that's a really good combination of contact ability and power. I mean, Pierce brings the power, and I've always
goes without saying.
Canagita brings the power too.
Yeah, as well.
Canagita brings
He
the
led the
power.
team in home runs last year.
The way I really think about Canagita this year compared to last year is that I think he's a really underrated contact hitter. Like, he is probably one of the best contact hitters. He doesn't really all hit for power as much as he did last year, but he definitely hits for those extra base hits and singles and getting our speedsters like Crawford and Moreno, giving them opportunities for extra bases to leg out from, you know, going to second to third. So I think he's a really underrated contact hitter in this lineup.
Yeah, he's definitely probably one of my favorite hitters to watch. You know, I mean, the Dennis Pierces and the Hunter Stowes of the world, but Canagita is really fun to watch. But I just wanted to say that about the lineups because that's something that I definitely found interesting. It'd be kind of interesting to see if they would stick with a similar lineup that they used with Georgia College and see where that got them, because it's been really inconsistent all year long with just going ups and downs. I mean, we're 17-12. We're doing really good in the 3-game series for the most parts, but we're dropping these Tuesday games, and it's hurting our record. But with that said, I'm going to send it over to Jack for softball, and Jack, take it away.
You're out. Thank you, Kyle. So for softball this week, well, before we get to this week, last time we talked, Blazer softball was just coming off a 3-game series against Alabama Huntsville. They won 2 of the 3 games of that series, outscored the Chargers 32-20 over
That
those 3
was an
games.
extremely
That is
fun
insane.
series, especially game 1, man.
And from them until now, the Blazers have gone 3-2, splitting the doubleheader with Nova Southeastern. And I got to be honest, they smashed the Montevallo Falcons in the first 2 games of the 3-game series. I mean, in both losses in this 5-game stretch, the Blazers were shut out, but in the games they won convincingly. I mean, they were putting up double-digit runs. I mean, it's that type of thing that when you see that, you're like, wow, It's like the old Jerry Reed song says, when you're hot, you're not, you're not. It's pretty much how it goes. Like, for example, when you look at the first game against Nova Southeastern, they lost 12-0 in 5 innings. But in the second game, they were able to win 7-6. And in like the game one, like I said, they were shut out. They only got 2 base hits. They were both from Lexi Patterson. But, Nova Southeastern's star pitcher, Alyssa Drugmuller, thank you, she faced 16 Blazer at-bats. She threw 5 innings off a 2-hit, 2-walk, 4-strikeout ball.
And this was the series I co-commentated with Mr. Reinhardt. In that game one, I tell you, I mean, it was not pretty. Lexi Patterson was pretty much the only one who could get hits off of Drugmuller. Otherwise, every Blazer.
And she normally pinch hits, doesn't she?
Patterson sometimes pinch hits, but in that game she was a defensive substitute for Jasmine Stewart out in center field that game.
Yes,
but,
that's right.
But the thing is with Drugmuller, who we're talking about here, to say she is a star pitcher in the Sunshine State Conference, she's one of 3 pitchers in their rotation that has contributed to, I believe it was around a team 1.16 ERA. Up to that point, she contributes heavily to that.
If you're only giving up 1 to 2 runs a game, you're going to win a lot of games,
especially as a team unit. As a team unit of 3 pitchers, but going into game 2, I mean, they stuck with Drugmuller in that game, which was very, very odd. Jack, if you want to give the recap
we
for
saw
that one.
Some last year with Richards at times, Coach Massey would bring her back in and whatnot. So it doesn't never happen, but it does happen some. But when you take a look at this, it was a very close game. Abby Solt had to she hit the game-winning solo home run off a 1-0 count, combined with the efforts from pitching from Santa Barfield and Madison Lump. I mean, the Blazers were able to win the game on the road, or correction, at home, 7-6. Very close game, very competitive, back and forth. I mean, I shouldn't say this because we're not in the same conference, but the Sunshine State Conference and the Gulf South Conference, they got history. Okay, across all sports, they play pretty consistently.
Yeah,
and so it felt like a game where you're like, okay, we got blown out in the first one, but we have a chance in the second one.
I will say this though, Abby Solt had a couple in that second game, had a couple of foul balls. I think it was like that were absolutely.
Oh my goodness! Yes, she. I tell you this, she hit one foul ball that went all the way past left field. I swear that was a 300-foot hit.
That traveled a mighty long way in that. She was due. So when she hit the home run in the bottom of the 6th, I was like,
check that out. Check that out in those games on BlazerSportsMedia.com. I mean,
yes, shameless plug.
Shameless plug indeed. But the big story for Blazer.
This reminds me of a professor that we have here.
Which one?
Just like
which one, Chris?
Shout out to actually one of my favorite professors, Dennis Conway. Shout out to him.
Bumping that new rod wave. All right, man, we'll have to let him in on that story.
And also, that'll be a lore whenever we get to the finale.
But the big story out of the Blazer softball this week is taking on Montevallo. Now, Jalen, you can back me up on this. We've noticed on our stat sheets when we commentate for softball that Montevallo has been at the top of the conference. I mean, pretty much the entire season so far.
Yeah,
and I mean, we go up there and we get a big series win. I mean, obviously we got blown out, 16-0 on the last game of the series, but we pick up 2 big wins. We won 12-6 in the first game, 16-4 in the second game. I mean, Morgan Hill had a 2-run home run. Sarah McNeely had a 2-run home run. I mean, Jamie Prandine, she had a grand slam. I mean, Barfield, she threw 5 innings. She had 8 hits, 6 run, 4 walk. I mean, Lump, relieved in the 6th to get the win by shutting out the Falcons. But, I mean, it was just an offensive showcase like it normally is historically for the Blazers. And then when you look at game 2, I mean,
it gets even better.
So just going to go down some of the stats from this game. Lexi Patterson had an RBI single in the second. Abby Soul had a 2-run homer in the third. An RBI double was recorded by Morgan Hill in the fourth. bases clearing triple by Brandy Sieber in the 5th, 2 RBI double by Katie Proctor in the 5th, and 6 runs scored in the 6th inning to seal the run rule win. I mean, Tori Wofford, she moved to 8-2 on the year with a 4-inning, 6-hit, 1 earned run, 0 walk, 1 strikeout outing. I mean, it just pure dominance across those first 2 games. And,
Seriously.
And like we said, I'm not trying to finish on a sour note. They did drop Game 3. I mean, Montevallo flipped the script, and they did it with commanding fashion. 16 runs, 5 innings. They shut out the Blazers, run rule them. I mean, Centeno saddled with the loss there, giving up 16 runs, but as a starter. But you know, it's bound to happen, especially when you have 2 games like that where you're just so great on offense. You're gonna have games like that. And the big thing is we got the series win.
Exactly, that's the big thing.
That's the big thing in terms of like going for conference standings and whatnot. And also, we mentioned it earlier in the show, but Morgan Hill got named Steele's Jewelry Athlete of the Week. Congrats, Morgan. You know, Morgan Hill is actually kind of a hometown product just down the road in Lake Park. She hit 625 in the 3-game series against Montevallo. I'm going to say that again. 625.
That's crazy.
That is actually crazy.
That's automatic.
But, I mean, you take a look at it, and Blazer softball still holding their own. They're 22-14 on the year. They are steadily, you know, they're doing well. They're still at the top of the conference like they consistently are. But, I mean, we're looking forward to seeing what they can do the rest of the season.
There was some concern earlier, and, you know, when we were talking about the previews of the year, we were talking about, you know,
how would they bounce back without like Richards and a couple other pieces?
Yeah, you know, rolling and you know, they've been able to, you know, maintain that pace. So I'm excited to see what they can do coming down the stretch.
Absolutely.
And the thing with that is kind of following that up from the softball extra Ember I did, that was the question I really posed with pitching. You know, and I said in that extra Ember, my idea was that this pitching unit in this defense was going to get better over time. Like they were going to have, you know, those early season struggles, you know, bringing in all the new talent and trying to make that work and fit in with the veterans, the ladies who have already been here. So there were going to be early season struggles, but man, the Blazers have really, really found their pace. They found their click and pretty much cemented themselves in the top 5 in the Gulf South Conference. And speaking of Montevallo, when like Jack said earlier, I mean, at one point during the season, Montevallo was actually the first ranked team in the Gulf South Conference. Now they've dropped to, I believe that is either 7th or 8th in the conference, while Valdosta State is currently sitting, 13-5, right behind Auburn Montgomery, who we beat in a 3-game series. We won that series. So, I mean, this team is just getting better and better over time. The pressure, especially going down to the final couple series of the season, this is really going to test this team's mettle. And I think this is going to be fantastic for them, a fantastic opportunity. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. This has been the Inferno Blazers Sports Show, and we'll be back in about 30 to 45 seconds, depending on how long I make this advertisement, because I don't know how long I'm going to make it right now, about this message about our brand new website. We'll be back to you after that. The Inferno has a new home on the internet with a brand new website. Head over to www.sites.google.com/view/The Inferno B.S.S. to learn more about the show, find links to all our podcast hosting platforms, stream some feature content, and more. Catch up with the show on www.sites.google.com/view/The Inferno B.S.S. And now, back to the Inferno. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Inferno Blazers Sports Show. We hope you guys really check out that new website. I mean, I put quite a bit of work into that, and it as far as I know, it looks really good.
It looks great.
It looks great.
It looks awesome, man. So
it looks really good, Jalen.
Oh my God!
No, it look good.
But it looks great, man.
But yeah, there's gonna.
I hate the fact that it's my picture of when I had like a lot of hair, and I look and I'm like, man, that is ugly. Like that is some ugly hair.
Chris, you're selling yourself short. You look ugly in a lot of pictures. Okay.
Wow.
That's wild.
That's rich coming from somebody from South Carolina when, you know, everybody is pothole ugly.
What do you mean?
We talk about that right now.
Let's get into the next topic.
Let's get into
Let's get right into the news.
Okay, Keemstar.
Wow.
Wow.
Memes from 2016. Because yes.
Jalen, it's Let's go.
Our next topic we're going to be talking a little bit of Blazer tennis and cross country. As they had some events over this past week. We haven't really gotten to highlight them in a bit, but they are doing some great work out there. First, talking about the tennis teams. Both men's and women's teams traveled down to Pensacola, Florida to take on 5 Gulf South Conference opponents each at kind of a sort of neutral site. The only team that gets any sort of, quote, home court or home field advantage was West Florida because they're also playing. But starting with the men, I mean, their season has been nothing short of spectacular, maintaining a top 10 ranking in the ITA polls since the start of the season. The men were riding a 4-game win streak heading into Pensacola following a kind of middling ITA Nationals appearance where they went 1-2 in their matches played. Their only win in that Nationals appearance was against West Florida, who we will get to in just a moment. The first opponent, West Alabama, I mean, they were dispatched of extremely quickly with a 7-0 win. They won all of their doubles and singles matches, which for tennis scoring, if you guys don't know how tennis scoring works in collegiate tennis, how it works is you got the doubles matches. They play 3 doubles matches. And if your team wins 2 out of 3 of those, you get 1 point. And then they play all the singles matches, which if your team wins a singles match, that's another point. And every singles match is counted as 1 point, in which time of completion also really matters. So with that being said, I don't really know if it really mattered against West Alabama because, again, the Blazers swept them 7-0, winning all their doubles and singles matches. And unfortunately, their hot streak would end in the face of a recurring team, number 9 West Florida, taking down our second-ranked Valdosta State Blazers 4-3. The Argos would win 2 of their 3 doubles matches and 4 of the 6 single matches to win the day. But even then, I mean, a number 9 upsetting a number 2, I don't really think that's going to really put a damper on Valdosta State, especially heading to their next couple matches. I mean, this is still a hot team to beat. I mean, everyone's going to be looking for that. Every team that Valdosta State faces is going to be looking for that kind of upset. While inversely, with the women's team, their season hasn't gone the best. Dropping games to highly ranked opponents throughout the year. Like they faced Barry, they faced number 1 ranked Barry, they faced Lynn University, I believe it was number 3 at the time. They faced UConn, they faced Connecticut, University of Connecticut. But a new breath of life might have hit the women's team with an upset win over West Florida
that's huge, by the way.
That's huge.
In a tightly contested affair, the Blazer women's
rivalry
team
game nonetheless.
Yeah, man, West Florida, a consistent thorn in our side in terms of all Blazer athletics now.
Pretty much. And I mean, we were talking about it before, especially with West Georgia leaving the Gulf South Conference. We really think that Valdosta State and West Florida is going to be like the new big rivalry in the Gulf South Conference.
It should be. I mean, they're the closest team.
I mean, that's the last game on the schedule for football
They're the closest team to us. They should be our rival.
Yeah.
And consider how close it was for several of those games.
I mean, in terms of in-conference rival, I should say.
Especially with the women's team, they took down the number 14 ranked Argonauts. So, I mean, taking down a top ranked team in women's tennis, I think that might have been the breath of fresh life, of new life that has hit the ladies here as they won 2 of their 3 doubles matches and split the singles matches 3-3. And who we mentioned earlier,
we have lost Chris, ladies and gentlemen.
Chris has
just
left
disappeared.
the building.
And
the ground has shook. Chris is gone.
And like we alluded to earlier in the episode, Nina Pobriolova was named a Steele's Jewelry Athlete of the Week, and this is why. I mean, she helped VSU win and I kid you not, its first match against West Florida since 2010. Snapping
crazy.
A 19 match skid. This is the first time Valdosta State has beaten West Florida in women's tennis since 2010.
Well, congratulations to the Blazers.
Yes. Pobriolova began the week with a win in singles and doubles as she and Natalie Rank, someone who has also been a consistent Steele's Jewelry athlete of the week, particularly last year, they downed the they downed the number 37 ranked doubles duo match of Heaton Lai and Kim Iglepas of West Alabama in doubles 7-6. And then in West Florida, Porbiolova and Rank, they won 6-2 over West Florida's doubles pair to win that point. And then she won her singles match, sweeping Guadalupe Martinez in the 4-3 win over the Argonauts. So, just great stuff there from both the men's and women's tennis teams. I know for the men's team, it must have stunk a little bit to lose to West Florida, someone you beat earlier in the season. But they're still the hot team to beat. I don't think the rankings can be affected that much. But going over into cross country and track, the Blazers recently competed in the Embry-Riddle Running Elements Classic meet in Daytona Beach, Florida, where they got 4 personal records. We had 4 personal records and a new school record broken. For PRs, Kylie Rice in the 800 meter, she ran 225.5. Katie LaCroix, someone who has also been a consistent Steele's Jewelry Athlete of the Week, particularly in cross country, in the 5,000 meter race, going 19 minutes and 2 seconds. Parker Jackson, which, by the way, shout out to Parker Jackson, the newest follower of the Inferno, for his school record breaking time of 1 minute 55.55 seconds in the 800 meter with an 11th overall finish. And the previous record was set 47 years ago by Roger Lee in 1977 at 157.55.
That's 3 years shy of 50.
So,
wow.
And
good math.
So Parker Jackson in the 800 meter, 5,000 meter, he ran 15:41.39 the 5,000, and Adam Mustrabiono and Aaron Munger in the 1,500 meter, they went 4:08.48 and 4:29.59 respectively for those PRs. So it's just been a great meet for the cross country team. They're going to be heading out to Mount Berry, Georgia for their Berry Field Day meet.
Let's go.
And next week, at the time we are recording this, it'll be next Saturday by the time we
What's the date?
edit. It's going to be April 12th and 13th at Mount Berry, Georgia for the Berry Field Day meet.
Sensational.
So
good
definitely
luck to the Blazers.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to all of our Blazer teams competing. Again, you guys are the ones who give us the content to work with, and we love to talk about you guys and love to give you guys a spotlight on this podcast. But now we're going to go into the last kind of major sports related topic of the day, which is going to be highlighting a sport that we haven't covered since Kyle's extra ember on it back in October, is rugby. We're in our 7th season right now, and that's the guys alluded to earlier and congratulated me on in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
That's the most fun rugby to watch.
Yes, rugby sevens is definitely the most fun to watch. Yeah,
especially for my first time playing. It's a really quick, fast paced game. I think it's something that I've really enjoyed thus far, and we're about to go into one of our biggest tournaments of the year, the Boostman Sevens tournament, hosted by Middle Tennessee State. Now, the best way that I can describe this,
Murfreesboro, okay,
up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that I'll be heading up there on Friday, April 5th, which will be the day this comes out. This day this releases. So this episode will likely be out by the time I'm taking the 7-hour drive up to Murfreesboro. So hopefully I can get this edited by then. But this tournament is broken up into 3 divisions. You got Division 1, Division 2, and the small college division. Valdosta State's competing in the small college division. I believe we're facing teams like I can't remember who we're all facing. I know we're facing Vanderbilt. I know we're facing a team called Central. I can't fully remember. I think we might be facing Tulane.
Central? That narrows it down, Jalen.
I know. Look,
not like there's a Central Florida, Central Arkansas,
North Carolina Central.
Look, I forgot. I know the 2 teams we were facing. We are facing Tulane and Vanderbilt in our pool before we go into the knockout round. The winner of this tournament gets an automatic bid to the Collegiate Rugby Championship on April 26th and 27th. Hey, so I'm going to make a bit of an editor's note and a bit of a correction to that statement. According to head coach Mike Nita, prior to our practice on Wednesday, April 3rd, it has actually been confirmed that the Boostman Sevens tournament will not result in an automatic qualifier to the Collegiate Rugby Championship. It is not one of the tournaments that is being considered as an auto bid. So that statement, unfortunately, has been proven incorrect, but I just want to clear that up. And we're going to finish out here with the interview, and you'll hear more in just a moment. In Washington, D.C. And
they moved it to D.C.?
Yeah.
It used to be in L.A., I think, yeah. Right?
Yeah, it
I
used to be in LA.
believe so.
Used to be in LA,
it was
yeah.
either in L.A. or Maryland. I can't remember which.
Maryland.
But
they had something in L.A.
yeah.
a few years ago.
I did an interview with head coach Mike Nita, and he kind of explained it to us. He kind of explained it to me that this is kind of our best opportunity to make the CRC this year, especially with the talent that we have and the hard work that we've put in. Here's another thing too. We haven't played a match since February. The last tournament we played, we swept the Mid-South Series tournament, won three straight matches, but we haven't played a match since. So this is going to be like our first like true test. And as a matter of fact, here's the interview segment that I got with head coach Mike Nita of the Valdosta State men's and women's rugby teams.
Well, long story short, it's national qualifier, win or go home. We're at that point in the season, so pretty much we have to win every single game. I think we have a maximum capacity of one loss, so we're trying to hopefully make a push for that. If we make it, it'll be third time in program history that we make it, so we got the team to do it this year. Hopefully we can just execute what we've been practicing. The veterans we have, especially our captain, Bobby, 4-year player. We have a lot of experience coming back, especially a lot of boys that we brought to nationals 2 years ago that can help guide the young guys who haven't really had that much experience. Hopefully have them in, able to guide the new guys and hopefully guide us to success. So we got a lot of returning experience and a lot of athletic young guys. So I think with that combination, we should be able to make it pretty far.
And that was Mike Nita, the head coach of Valdosta State men's and women's rugby. And like he said, I mean, and kind of saying this from my perspective too, I mean, I think even like in my first year of ever playing rugby, I mean, we have a extremely talented team. We got extremely fast guys, extremely athletic guys, some really great power runners, and a great captain or leader, Bobby Riedenbach and AJ Mathis. If you guys are listening to this, really appreciate you guys and your guys' leadership on this team and everybody else. Shout out to the rugby team. Shout out to all my teammates out there. For all of us heading up to Murfreesboro, this is going to be huge for us, and particularly for those who didn't end up making the final roster. You guys put a hell of a good effort to make one of those 14 spots, which we can only carry 14 guys heading up to that tournament. So we all have worked our butts off over March to get to this point. And now, first weekend of April is going to be our first true test. And I'm honestly really excited, even as a reserve, even if I don't play a single minute. This is going to be an experience that is going to be extremely fun. And I think it's going to be amazing. Something I'm definitely going to report back on probably either in an extra Ember or I'll bring this up on the next show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll go up there and kick ass this weekend.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man. Yeah,
Or
man.
next
Got our
weekend.
full support, man. So good luck to you, man.
Good luck, Jalen.
I appreciate it. So with that being said, we're going to take one last break before we go into our
Trivia of the
state your
day.
case, scorch and see, whatever we decide to come up with for the last maybe like 5 minutes of the show. But with that being said, we're going to take a short break here. This has been the Inferno Blazer Sports Show. Hey everyone, just wanted to let you know that the Inferno is keeping the fire alive this month with lots of planned content for the rest of the semester. We have our first two-parter Extra Ember by Chris Mercer as he grades every NFL team following the beginning of free agency with the NFL Free Agency Report Card. Those will be released on April 11th and 12th. Kyle Hawthorne goes international and tells us about his excursion out to Brazil, highlighting a soccer match that he'll love to talk about. It's his Brazilian breakthrough, and that's coming out on April 19th.
Look out for them embers, y'all. Look out for them embers coming up real soon.
Lastly, for planned content, the Season 2 finale will be uploaded on May 3rd, and hopefully with a special guest to end the semester with a bang. And now, back to the Inferno.
This is not the third time that we've had to try to restart this one.
Totally not.
Totally not. No.
Welcome
Three's
back
up,
to
baby.
the Inferno. And now it is time for some trivia. All right, MLB season has finally started. Me and Kyle have been waiting for MLB season to start.
Honestly.
And, I feel like we should all share, the common MLB knowledge among not only our fans, but our two other co-hosts. So I'm going to give y'all a sort of hard one, but a sort of easy one. Can you name in a 3-minute period, three's up, every World Series champion in reverse chronological order?
So essentially the idea is to get to the most past year as possible.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
getting to
Does it
1985.
have to be in order?
Yes.
So getting to 1985 is better than getting to 1995, essentially.
Correct.
Okay, just to explain to the listeners. All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
get
to-
it going.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
gonna-
I'm trying
gonna
to
let
get.
Kyle take this one.
Man, y'all
I'll
need to give
try
him
to
some
chip
help.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
Chip in it when you can, but let me,
I will try to.
Let me cook.
I got you. Hold on. Just be 3 minutes.
Let him.
I said, let them cook. That meme is just terrible.
What do you mean? What do you,
Well,
I mean,
when you hear,
out
let him
of all
cook
the
now. Let him cook.
let him cook now. Let him cook. Especially of all the other memes we have put on this. While I'm editing these, I just supplement humor with memes.
You what?
Really dead memes.
What?
Shout out to you if you know what a meme is.
Bro, what are you talking
In this
about,
day
man?
and age. Wait a minute. I have no idea what that
I
was.
just heard a random voice start speaking.
Outside of the room.
God, is that you? What was that? Why do you sound like Dr. Cyber? Oh my gosh.
So
looking for.
I got 3 minutes on the timer here.
All right,
In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, who was the most recent World Series champion?
That's going to be the Texas Rangers.
All right.
The year before that is the Astros. The year before that is the Braves. The year before that is the Dodgers. The year before that is
Can't
the
be looking this up
Nationals.
either.
I'm
So
not
you
looking it up.
Yes.
Yep,
It's the
so close the
Nationals,
laptop. So close the laptop.
So I'm back at 2019. 2018 was the...
Dodgers.
Strike one. You
Damn
get
it.
3
Okay.
strikes.
Yeah,
You get
okay.
3
Oh,
strikes.
thanks for telling us that after we
Thanks for
started.
telling us that.
My bad, my
Who
bad.
won in 18?
It wasn't who won in 18?
I feel like it's the Astros.
No,
No, the Astros is 17,
no,
so I'll get that in a second.
They won in 17.
Oh, the Red Sox.
Red Sox,
Red Sox
yeah,
won in
right.
18. The Astros won in 17. The Cubs won in 16.
Cubs won in
The
16.
Royals won in 15. The Giants won in 14. They won in 13.
I was just because they didn't go back to back. It was
the
Giants again.
The
Giants
Giants
again.
won in 12. 11 was the Cardinals. 10 was the Giants again. 2009 was the Yankees. 2008 the Phillies. 2007. 2007. Wow.
2007. So I've already got one strike.
2007.
Oh, yeah, this is different because I'm not giving y'all any hints.
Do we all get 3 strikes apiece or 3 strikes a total?
Every 3 strikes a total.
2007 was.
Crap, I've
You already
already
have
cost us
one.
a strike.
I really don't even know.
2007. Can you give us AL or NL?
AL.
American League?
Yes.
Was it the Rays haven't won a championship?
Yeah, the Rays haven't
that's-
won it.
That's not one of my strikes because I'm not guessing that.
We got
just
a
less
minute
than
20,
90
so
I'm at 90 seconds. Okay.
you maybe division?
I can't give y'all that. 'cause
Can you,
y'all
get, can you maybe give us a division?
Nope.
No, it's still
Nope.
and it's American League. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna. I can't remember.
No, you
I
can't
can't.
look it
I
up.
can't remember every team that's in the American League. Okay.
You can't look that up.
I'm just.
Jalen, you're literally cheating.
Exactly.
I'm not looking up who won. I'm looking up the teams that are in the American League.
2007. Is it the Red Sox again?
Yes, it is the Red Sox.
Oh, it is the Red Sox again. Okay,
Okay,
2006. Is it the Marlins?
No.
No, that's one strike.
That
for me.
might have been
2 strikes now.
You have
Oh, I know. I know
Marlins
who's
went-
2005. Who's 2006, guys?
2006.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna. I'm
AL
just
or
gonna
NL?
And
NL.
I'll be nice and give you the one hit. One of the best players. A player that was in the 700 club.
Oh, the Cardinals.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cardinals
Oh,
in
it's the Cardinals.
2006.
Crap. Yeah,
Chicago
you're right.
White Sox in 2005.
That's who I was gonna guess for 06.
Willie C. Harris out
The
of
big
Cairo, Georgia, played in that team.
Nice.
2004 is the
2004.
is it the Marlins?
2.
Yeah, Marlins.
2004
The Red
was-
Sox. No.
Well, that would have been your 3rd strike, but yeah, it was the Red Sox in 04.
Oh, it was the Red Sox in 04. Exactly.
got
Yeah,
20
then the
years.
Marlins in 03, right?
I know the Marlins
Marlins
won one, but it was
yeah.
close.
Did we not got time of one more? Because I actually have one more.
We're recording at 53 minutes. So,
Yeah, let's go ahead and save that for next
All right,
episode.
we'll say that for next
Let's
week. All
say
right,
that
next
for next
time
time.
will be to give y'all ahead of the curve so y'all can look it up. Every NBA Finals MVP in reverse
Finals
chronological
MVP.
order.
Actually, that I
That will
probably
be
could do.
Jack's.
Yeah,
So,
that I could
yeah.
probably do.
Jack should be good at that.
I
think I was
gave
gonna
y'all-
do
I gave
World
y'all
Series
plenty. Y'all can help me out
MVPs,
next
but
time.
I'll do that for another time.
Who cares? I'm just saying, I couldn't do
Nobody
it.
cares about World Series MVP after you win the World Series.
It's like the same thing with Super Bowl MVP. They don't even give
I
out
was
a
gonna say,
trophy.
if I'm not mistaken, the guy that won World Series MVP for the Braves a few years ago doesn't even play for the Braves
No, he
anymore.
plays for the Giants. For his Hilaire.
It was Soler. Or didn't he go to Miami?
He went to Miami
went to
first.
Miami
and now
and
he's
then
with the
that's what I
Giants.
thought.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Jack, if you want to wrap this episode up, it's all on you, man.
We are going to wrap things up here for this episode of the Inferno Blazer Sports Show alongside Jalen Scott, Chris Mercer, and Kyle Hawthorne. I'm Jack Calhoun, your voice of the Blazers, signing us off, saying have a great day. God bless. Go Blazers. And Chris, is there something you want to tell everybody?
Craig, holla at the people.
Bye, Felicia.